welcome back to my channel again. Today we are going to study about levels of organization in multicellular organism. The levels of organization means the arrangement of life from simplest to the complex form. Now, what is mean by cell? The cell is the simplest unit of life. All living cells have evolved from single-celled or unicellular forms. Now this is the level of organization in human body. Now we have cell, tissue, organ system and organism. Now first we have cell. The cell is the simplest unit of life, and group of cells form tissue, and group of tissue form organ, group of organ form organ system, and group of organ system make organism. Now this is the arrangement, this is the organization. This is the organization in multicellular organism. The group of cells make tissue, and group of tissue make organ, and group of organ make organ system, and group of organ system makes organism. Firstly, let us look at tissue. Now what is tissue? The tissue is the group of cells that perform particular function is called tissue. The group of cells performing particular function is called tissue. Now this diagram represents the different types of tissue. The tissue is generally divided into two types. They are plant tissue and animal tissue. The plant tissue is further divided into two types. They are meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. And permanent tissue is further divided into two types: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. And simple permanent tissue is further divided into three types: parenchyma permanent tissue, collenchyma permanent tissue, and sclerenchyma permanent tissue. And in other hand, the complex permanent tissue is divided into two. They are xylem and phloem. The animal tissue is categorized into four categories based on their location and functions. Now first one is epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, and nervous tissue. This is the overview of tissue in multicellular organism. Now firstly, let us look at plant tissue. Now plant tissue is divided into two types. They are meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Now, firstly, what is meristematic tissue? Now meristematic tissue is found at all growing point of plants, such as tips of roots, stems and branches. This diagram represents the meristematic tissue. This is the growing tip of root. Now this growing tip of root has a meristematic tissue. The meristematic tissue multiplies and helps in the growth and development of the plants. In other hand, we have permanent tissue. The permanent tissue are made up of either living or dead cells, which has lost their ability to multiply. What is the difference between meristematic tissue and permanent tissue? The meristematic tissue has ability to multiply, and permanent tissue has lost their ability to multiply. This is the basic difference between meristematic and permanent tissue. Now the meristematic tissues are of two types. They are simple meristematic tissue and complex meristematic tissue. Now permanent tissue is divided into simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Now firstly, let us look at simple permanent tissue. The simple permanent tissue is divided into three types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Now let us go into details one by one. Now firstly we have parenchyma. Permanent tissue. Now the parenchyma consists of oval, spherical or polygonal cells. The cell wall is thin and there are spaces between the cells. and they are found in central part of roots and stems. Going and what's the main functions of parenchyma tissue? The parenchyma tissue helps to store food and water in the main function. Now the collenchyma tissue the collenchyma tissue are living cells with thick cell walls without spaces between them. Tissue may be circular, oval, or polygonal in shape. And they are found in leaf stalk, veins of leaves. And now what is the function of collenchyma tissue? Now the collenchyma tissue provides support and flexibility to the plant. Now third one is sclerenchyma tissue. Sclerenchyma tissue are dead cells with thick cell walls that are closely packed, and they are elongated or polygonal in shape. They are formed in stems and veins of leaves, and the main function of sclerenchyma in plant is to provide strength and protection to the plant. Now this is the diagram of three types of tissue. First one is parenchyma tissue, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. First the cross section cross section the longitudinal section dissect baby. Now when the first the cross section the longitudinal section. Now the parenchyma the gadabilu oval in shape. Tele cell wall the thin be. Cell wall the thin be do. Tele there are spaces between the cells and space thomega space yellow. Collenchyma tissue has thick cell wall. Thick cell wall. There are no spaces between the cell. They are circular in shape. Sclerenchyma tissue they have a thick cell wall. They are closely packed. No spaces between the cell. There are two types of complex permanent tissue. They are xylem and phloem. What is the main function of xylem in plant? Now xylem transport water and dissolved minerals from the roots to the other parts of the plant. What is the main function of phloem? Phloem helps in the transportation of food from leaves to the different parts of the body. The xylem the phloem the detail be tani dinlo di video upload be di tani video gi link tima description nalu yetuga. The to the amchirai plant tissue gi. The next we are going to study about animal tissue. The animal tissue ki video ki link tima description nalu click be di the tuga. Thank you and please subscribe to the channel for more videos. Tuga.